All right, guys, good morning. How are you doing today? So, Eugene, Mikey, good morning, guys. How we doing? October 20th. What is it, Wednesday? F1 this weekend, if anyone's excited for that. If anyone watches F1, I'm excited for the F1 this coming weekend. What else we got? Got the unwatchable New York Giants that will play. Morning, Rod. Morning, sir. Dominique. How do I pronounce that? Ineb. Solid haircut. Yeah. Got the fresh fade from my buddy Eric. Fastly's back. Yeah, Fastly, she comes back every once in a while. I'm getting the Google Docs for the members here. If you guys are, I'll go ahead and post it. It should be like the third one down. Members. All right. Here we go. So it is Wednesday. We know coming into today that we are on a very nice move to the upside, right? We're on a very, very strong move to the upside. And I'm coming in every day from this point forward with a little bit of hesitancy, just to be aware, because I'm not a, I'll be bullish when I want to be, but I'm not delusional. There's gonna be some tough days ahead, for sure. Looking at this market, there should be a few red days here and there, but I think what those red days look like will be the key. We want to see, how do these red days look? Do we hold previous day lows? Do we engulf previous day price action to the downside? That's a little bit nasty. Do we hold up some important levels even though the day was red? Those things we're going to have to look for. Those are the keys and the technicals that you need to be looking at on a daily basis to try to get an idea for where this market is heading. Because there's going to be red days. And the people that panic on the red days and think that everything's going down to, back to the lows will probably be the ones that miss out back to the upside once again. So, let's see where the red day comes. There will be a red day, in this move. I don't know if it's this week. It'd be incredible to see every day of this week close green and pretty healthy green. I haven't seen that in a long time. So that would be interesting to see. But we're going to come into today unbiased as possible because it's Wednesday. Usually Wednesdays is like it's sort of that hump day. It's not quite sure what to expect. Monday, Tuesday, understandable, very strong days. Wednesday, we're starting to get towards the end of the week. We're getting into some big earnings, Tesla earnings. We had Netflix earnings yesterday, so today could be a little bit interesting. Yesterday sort of showed us, the possibility of a very boring day as well. So yesterday was quite boring until later half of the day. So all morning, we were pretty sideways, right? So we'll see. Are we sideways today? Do we find some resistance? I'm coming into today very unbiased. That's sort of what I'm trying to say, because I'm not quite sure if we do need a rest here, which if we do see a rest, I would, it'd be understandable in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and look at the futures as always. We'll go ahead and do our normal stuff. Earnings today. Not much economic on the economic calendar, to be quite honest. There's the beige book, which sometimes is interesting to look at. I haven't seen it affect the market much in the past. I usually, I keep an eye on the market when the beige book comes out. Not really much. It's at 2 p.m. today. Fed President Evans speaks on racism and wealth. I don't think that affects the market. Fed Governor Randall speaks on outlook. Maybe 1 p.m. I don't think anything too major here, guys, today that would affect the market. Tomorrow we have jobless claims, home sales, market services PMI, manufacturing PMI. So we'll see. I don't quite know if something like a jobless claims will. I don't know if it's something like a jobless claims will off rail this type of move. It'll be interesting to see. I think this move looks pretty strong. So we'll see. But today, nothing that I see that would unrail this move on the macroeconomic side. Quentin, best channel ever. Thank you, Quentin. Appreciate that, man. It's cool making relationships with some of the people in the chat, some of the people in the Discord. Quentin's definitely been a guy that has been around. So shout out to you, man. Thank you for being a member. And I wish, one day, hopefully we can all meet up. So shout out to you, Quentin. Yeah, I like that, Night Fox. Very true. I think that's something that a lot of people do not realize. A lot of people do not think about how time and price action are two sort of different things. If the price action stays flat, the moving averages are still going to move higher if the trend is higher. So sometimes you'll actually get a moving average that catches up with time rather than a price that actually comes back down to the moving average. So this is a good example actually right here for just a real quick lesson here before we get started. But this period right here, you could essentially say that we're 100% flat here between July 23rd and August 23rd. So about a month, we were exactly flat here on the Nasdaq market, right? But look at where the moving average went. It went from around 14,130 to where we found support at 14,691. So the moving average moved a total of about 576 points, whereas the market went completely sideways. And why is that important? And why is that strong? Because you guys can see as soon as this moving average started to catch up with price action, that is where it bounced off of, right? So that is something I think a lot of people don't realize is that this consolidation is bullish because you have a moving average that starts to catch up with time, and boom, you get your bounce right off that 50 SMA. So very good point, Night Fox. Thanks for bringing that up. That's something that's pretty important, especially with technicals and moving averages. So good. So, all right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Here. Before we get started, I want to thank everyone for coming to the live stream. Yesterday, we had the highest viewers ever. I think it was like 817, which is crazy, man. I mean, we have like 30,000 subscribers on the channel, and I don't see many people pulling live stream numbers like that for a small channel. So it means that you guys are enjoying them. It means that we're sort of interactive here, and I really appreciate that. I love doing this, and I'm happy to see the growth. So let's continue to do it. Let's continue to prepare for the mornings. Let's continue to try to make money here. So 1020 futures contracts, as always. Yeah, I'm still holding Facebook. I held a small one. I've done really well this week on a few other plays, and it was a risk I was willing to take. So yes, I am still holding Facebook. Earnings calendar, we'll take a quick look at it. Futures, as always. Netflix and Tesla review. Let's go ahead and review Netflix and Tesla. Just so get a good look at the technicals after Netflix earnings, and then also Tesla upcoming. So Malcolm, hey, if you want to do that, man, we'll get to 1,600. That'll be nice. Get 800 laptops open. Disney Roku sympathy. So Disney Roku sympathy plays. This is something that we talked about yesterday in the Discord. Didn't quite get the move after hours like we in the after hours, but today, guys, I would definitely watch Disney and Roku for sympathy moves off of Netflix earnings. Is it up? Is it down? I don't quite know which direction it is, but these will most likely move today with some type of respect to Netflix's earnings. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna keep an eye on them and see how they react. So I wanted to bring that up today. We'll go ahead and look at their charts. Facebook bounce. We'll get an idea of that bounce, what's going on there. Baba 180, just incredible Baba gap up this morning. Asian markets were up 1.3%. Very nice push on the Asian markets. And we talked about Baba 180 yesterday, and we hit that resistance level today. So let's go ahead and keep an eye on that. Today, Apple, I think, is heading to 150. Apple has been incredibly strong and still has plenty of upside to all-time highs, so definitely worth looking at. LVS. LVS reports earnings today, and part of me wants to take a small play here on LVS. It's been sold off to absolute you-know-what. It's sitting at virus lows. So when the virus came out, can't say the word, when that virus came out, we moved down to a certain level, and we are sitting at it right now. So almost a year and a half later, LVS is still at the same price. Is there opportunity here on earnings? I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be watching it today. Next, I just want to update you on PayPal and Square, two stocks that I really like. I liked where their charts are, and I think with some patience, these could be nice plays. So I will bring those up to you today. After we do all of that, after we do all of the scheduled tickers to look at, we'll go ahead and do the members. We'll look at what the members want to look at. Ulta, yeah, I know Ulta dropped like crazy yesterday. I actually was going to add that to the schedule, and since I was going to add that to the schedule, I'll go ahead and add it to the end of the live stream if you want to stay around for it. Yeah, Bob is back, man. I don't know if it's back, but it's back for now. Beck is back. Where's Beck? Is Beck in the live stream? Netflix did not get the implied move. I do not believe so, unless something happened this morning that I did not see. No, Netflix did not. So, guys, we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Netflix implied volatility, Crush, IV Crush. Where do you find the earnings calendar? Check out Earnings Whisper on Twitter, maybe, or online. What else? What else you guys saying here? No. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. If you guys, it seems like it's working if I say this, but if you guys want to, hand along an early like for me, that would be fantastic. Early like before we jump into the stream. There's Beck. What's up, Beck? So, Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and take a look. Daily chart. So, we know where we're at. I don't need to update you guys on this move so far. So, yeah, very nice downtrend break. Very nice little hold at the 100 SMA. You guys can see that little hold at the 100 SMA. Yeah, Affirm, I know, there's a lot looking good. I don't want to miss out on some of them. So let's Affirm and Snow. I'm actually going to add those to the list as well. Affirm and Snow. So Nasdaq downtrend break. We all know this. Very nice. 50 SMA would be where I think you need to hold above. So as we move higher, we need to start thinking about these stair-step levels that we need to hold. And 50 SMA at this point, from moving forward, from today forward, I do not want to see the NASDAQ get back below the 50 SMA. I would really like to see that hold as support moving forward. So if we get a pullback, I do not want to see us break back below this 50 because this 50 is also very close to some previous support levels here that I would like to see hold. So you guys can see on this market, these previous highs, 1, 2, 3, previous highs on the market, I would like to see that hold here if we pull back. So 15,150 area is going to be an area that I want to see hold. That's right by the 50 SMA and the previous highs here from back in July and August. So that's the first support level that I want to see in the grand scheme of things. If we do break below 15,1 and the 50 SMA, I think you look for that. You look for that psychological level at 15,000. 15,000 psychological support. That would be, excuse me, the next level that I would be watching. So 15,150, 15,000. That's 50 SMA, and then there's psychological support, which would also sort of come into maybe finding support at the top of this downtrend if we pull back here, guys. Of course, and that would also be. If I break this down to some shorter term time frames, that would also be, real quick, let me zoom in, 15,000 would also be right here at the top of these previous highs, right? So you do not want to see us come back down, right? You don't want to see the come down and a break back below these previous highs, right? So you definitely want to see that hold right here. right here, 15,000 psychological level is going to be crucial. As long as this market continues as we move higher, guys, as long as this market continues to make higher lows and higher highs, then I believe that we continue to move higher here on the Nasdaq and on tech and on growth stocks. So from this point forward, just keep an eye on previous highs. I would even want to watch, oh wow, that's interesting. This is the 15,150 level here, and this is the 50 SMA too. So yeah, 15,150 and 15,000, guys. Previous highs, one high here, next high here. These are your downside levels that I would be trying to make sure that we hold, right? If we get a pullback today. So, you know, I wouldn't, if we start to, the reason I bring this up, guys, is because if we start to pull back today, you need to be aware of what's okay and what's not okay. If we pull back to 15.3, 100 points, guys, today, it's nothing's panic. You know, there's no cracks in the foundation still. If the market pulls back to here and starts to consolidate, everything's just fine, guys. And that's why you need to know these levels before you move into the day. Because if you do not, then you do not have an idea of where you need to start being like, okay, this is a little bit concerning, or okay, I'm not concerned about this. This is just a very small pullback in the grand scheme of things, and market still looks very bullish. So if we get this and back to 15, or if we start to get this, that's a little bit more of a concern, because you're starting to break down some previous highs and you're starting to make lower lows. So that's the reason I bring that up. 15,150, 15,000. Those are your two levels to the downside. To the upside, resistance levels, I would be watching two. Number one is this high here, right around 15,525. Let's just call it 15,5, because it's probably going to be like in that psychological level. 15,5, all up in here, 15,5. That will be the first level that I would be watching, and the second one is where we're at right now. So if we can get above this previous high here, let me go ahead and zoom in here, make this a little bit more easy to see. Right there, you guys can see this previous high from back on the 26th of September. That previous high was, the high of this candle was 15,400. So we are right at 15,400 this morning on the Nasdaq. Can we hold above 15,400? That is going to be very, very important today. Because if we cannot, then you might start to see some resistance off this previous high right here. So 15.4 today. See if we hold above it. If we do, then you're coming up to 15.5s. So about another 100 points you have until another tough resistance. After that, of course, I mean, you're looking at pretty much all-time highs, guys. So here's your levels today. 15.4, 15.5 to the upside, and 15,150 and 15,000 to the downside. Anything in this area is not really concerning to me. This is just a little bit of a trading range. So that's that. That is that. This is the Nasdaq. And no, I do not have any discounts for the Discord. Discord is probably not going to be getting discounted anytime soon. I mean, if you joined the Discord in the last month or two, you've already made, I mean, you should have already made back a month or more of payment. So it's yeah. Anyways, here's the ES. Here is the daily chart. Here's the daily chart on the ES. Inverse head and shoulders. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I actually posted a video this morning of someone else's YouTube channel. Some guy, I don't know his name. Let me see, actually. Go check out my Instagram while you're at it. He looked at the exact same thing I was looking at here on the ES. The inverse head and shoulders. His name is Shadow Trader. He's Shadow Trader. And he was talking about this exact same inverse head and shoulders. So killer to see other people saw this exact same thing. And very, very nice, very strong breakout. We know this. We know this push. I mean, guys, at this point, I don't know. I mean, I have to be honest. At this point, it just seems like okay, here's the level that I would say it's probably resisting off of. Because at this point, you're getting pretty damn close to all-time highs, right? I mean, it's going to be just sort of choppiness, but this is probably the level right here. So if we zoom into these previous highs here, so here is the previous, here's previous price action this is from August 31st, November 1st, November 2nd. I'm sorry, September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd. You guys see this price action here? If I draw this, the lows of these candles, and I draw them over, that is exactly where we are starting to resist this morning. So that is the resistance there, 45.17 on the ES. That is where you start to see this resistance come in. So right there, 1, 2, 3, and then look right there, nice push. That's where your resistance comes in. At this point, previous highs, guys. That's what you're watching, previous highs. So previous highs back from, let's just call this 44.9, back from August. Previous highs here, previous highs here. Let's keep an eye on these previous highs as we move lower. That's going to be the most important levels to keep an eye out for. In the short term, I would say this one is the most important. 44.60, 44.70. So you can see this previous high right here and this previous high right here. That is definitely a hold that I would want to see. I would not want to see, you know, well, I mean, even if we come back to here, it's quite fine. It's still making higher lows, right? So 44.70, 44.20, those are the levels to be watching today if we get those pullbacks off of some of this resistance, 45.17. So that's what I'd be looking for. Yeah, nice little cup and handle potentially if that forms there. Very possible. So here's your ES levels to the upside, 45.17 and 44.70. And then finally, this down here, 44.20. 44.41. Yeah, it's right around here. These previous lows. Listen, right there. You can watch that level as well. Right in this area here. So there's definitely some levels to the downside to be watching here, guys. All right, that's the ES. Watch that 45.17 this morning. That's where we're finding resistance off of. Dow. So we know the Dow's strong. Dow's basically at all-time highs. I'm just going to call it all-time highs because it looks like it's basically there. We're maybe, what are we? We're 150 points off. So, you know, very strong Dow. Very strong Dow. It would be very bullish to see this hold this morning. Look at this. If we see this hold today at 35.250 or 35.225, this little hold right here, that would be very nice. So you can see if a break and retest, if the Dow pushes back here, bounces off of it, it's a very strong break and retest. But we'll see. Dow 35,225 right here, these previous highs. I mean, the big one here, guys, is this level here. This is the big level. And this is really the one that I would be focused on. That is where you had a triple top, 1, 2, 3, that eventually broke through. You would definitely want to see this hold, right? You do not want to see this break down. You want to see, you know, something like this. Push higher, retest, triple top turns into support, then you get your push higher. That's what you want to see. That is exactly what you need to see on this market for it to continue to be bullish. If you get this break on the Dow, then you are right back within this trading channel, and you are no longer in an uptrend. So you need to see 34,850 right in this area hold as support on the Dow Jones. So that's that. That's the Dow. That's the ES. That's the Nasdaq. Hopefully you guys get a better idea of what to expect today. Once again, I'll give you my overall feeling on the market. There should be a pullback at some point, either this week or next week. There should be a red day. I want to see a red day. I'm very bullish on the market. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very big bull here, but I want to see a red day because I want to see some pullbacks. I want to get some more opportunities. I want to pick up some more buyers to the downside. I want this thing to rest a little bit. I think that will be very healthy for the market. So if you see a pullback, you guys should accept it. Accept it like it's your child. That is what you want to see. If you want upside on this market, you do want to see some type of pullbacks here. I don't want to see straight up to all-time highs. That would be a little bit concerning. But you guys know the market does what it wants to do, so we'll see what happens. But that's my feeling personally. That is what I'd like to see. So earnings calendar, let's go ahead and take a look. Here it is. Today, let's pull it up. Here we go. Listen, I don't know, man. Listen, you're unless you're trolling, you just you're not living. I don't know. I couldn't live with your negativity, man. So unless it's just all a game. So, anyways, Tuesday, Netflix was yesterday after close. United, WD-40. So it's interactive brokers if you trade on interactive brokers, but Netflix was the big one. Wednesday, today morning, Verizon this morning. So that's probably the big one. Take a look at Verizon. Today after close, so Tesla, Las Vegas Sands, IBM's pretty interesting. So those are the three that I'm going to be watching today. Tesla, of course, the big one. Sands, Las Vegas Sands, and IBM. Tomorrow, AT&T before open, American Airlines, Crocs, Southwest, Ally Bank, BlackRock or Blackstone. And then tomorrow after close, Snapchat, Intel, Chipotle, Sam Adams. So some big ones there. And then Friday, American Express, Honeywell are the ones that I sort of recognize there. So that's your earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and see. What happens with those. Let's go ahead and get into Netflix and Tesla. All right, so guys, so here's Netflix. This was the level that we've been watching on Netflix for actually some time now. Here's that low, this little base that we've been looking at right here around 626. You can even bring it down to around 623. You can even call it maybe a 620 flat. But anywhere in this little demand zone here, right in this area, anywhere that, when we start to dip down into this 622, 623 area, that is what I would be looking at. That will be, that is sort of what the area that I'm watching on Netflix. So it looks like on earnings, we did come back down to it. We didn't quite break it though, which is interesting. I would have been, on an earnings, maybe I would have expected a breakdown of this level, but since Netflix is holding this level today, guys, I would definitely be watching Netflix to the upside if you hold this level. If you start to consolidate here and you get some type of a Nasdaq move, this could be interesting on a pullback. I mean, this could just be a nice normal pullback on Netflix, which actually sets up for another move, maybe with some momentum on the tech market. So I would be watching Netflix today. It's a pretty easy level to watch, because if we start to see this thing break down, then I think you find some slippage on this stock if you break these lows 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely watch this 620, 623 zone here on the market, and see if that can hold up. Here's the 4 hour. You have some previous highs, sort of in these areas to watch as well. So you have, this 613s, 613s. You have some of these 610s. So there's a lot of levels to as potential support here on Netflix to keep an eye out for. So keep an eye on that. All right, I can't deal with that guy. So it's just distracting me, and I'm not going to deal with someone that's distracting me. All right, anyways, so very nice Netflix hold there on the 4 hour, on the hourly. Sometimes people got to get clapped, man. Sometimes that's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 620, very nice hold. And that is what I'd be watching today, guys. That's the key level in my opinion. So Tesla, let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. 880, that is the key level. So we've been watching that 880 for some time now. Yesterday we tapped it. I think, did we tap it to the dollar amount? Wow, yeah. It actually tapped it to the exact cent, 880. That's crazy. I didn't even expect that. Look at that, 880, exact tap of that resistance. That comes back from, let me go back a little bit further. 360 days right there, guys. So right here, you guys can see these previous highs, 880, 1, 2, 3, 4. There was a resistance back in January of last year. And then right here, you can see right here, very nice hold at 880, or resistance at 880 today. So again, guys, it's Tesla earnings. It's, this is where you go off your rails, right? This is where you got to go your own way. This is where you let go of your hand. I let go of your hand, or someone, you go on your own way and decide what you're going to do here, because there is no one besides yourself that's going to make the right decision for you here. You're going to have to live with whatever sort of move that you are willing to take here. Me personally, I will not be touching this with a 10-foot pole. I have shares of Tesla. I don't care if it dips. I don't really care. I'll buy more maybe. If it goes higher, great. I make money with my shares. Options, I just don't see. I don't see the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I say that a lot on the channel, right? I just don't know if it's worth it here, guys. Tesla has a $31 expected move, which is a little bit less than 4%. So you need this thing to either go up to, you basically need, if Tesla was to close here today at 864, you either need this thing above 900 or pretty much below 830s, 820s to make any money on either your calls or your puts. So just be careful here, guys, on Tesla. I would definitely play the continuation. There's going to be, you guys know on Tesla, there's going to be a very nice continuation move on this stock. So don't play the earnings. Wait for the earnings to come out. If it's a killer earnings and it just absolutely demolishes expectations, then I can guarantee you tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to see an absolute rally on Tesla stock. And that'll be a very nice move that you can trade off of and not have to worry about IV crush, expected move. That's what I would do. Personal opinion, I'd rather wait for the day, for the continuation move, and play it that way. Correct. It's a total gamble. This is when you start to get into that gambling mindset, is when you start putting money on earnings. That's basically betting red or black. It's betting red or black on roulette with probably like, out of the 32 numbers, there's probably about 16 green numbers. So you have 16 greens and you have 8 reds and 8 blacks. Those are the odds you're putting yourself into if you're playing earnings to a direction, right? So that's sort of how that's my metaphor for you, is you're on the roulette table with 16 green numbers. The other 16 are red and black, and you're putting it on a single color. So you have 8 out of 32 chance. So that's what, 18, that's a quarter of a percent, or a quarter chance. 8, 16, 24, 32, right. Make sure I do my math right there. So, Lost Franklin, thank you, sir. Coffee money, appreciate that, man. $10, that's plenty for, maybe it's like 1.5 coffees at Starbucks, right? No, I'll make sure to put that towards my Nespresso, not waste it on Starbucks. So, thank you, Lost Franklin, appreciate that, man. I know you've been here for a while, so I appreciate you coming here and you supporting the channel like that. Thank you very much. So that's what I would say for Tesla, guys. I would probably wait for the continuation move. I quickly want to go back to Netflix because we didn't talk about the IV crush. So expected move on Tesla at close was $35. It closed at $640, so it needed to go up to $675, right? $675 or $615 is where Netflix needed to get to. It closed here around $640. So it had about a $35 move to either direction. Hold on, 35, that's 605. 605 is 35. So 605, it needed to get below 605 or above 675 for calls or puts to appreciate. And you guys can see it is definitely within, this is what I'm talking about, it is within this expected move. So if the stock stays within the expected move, all of your directional plays, your calls, your puts, this morning, guys, go look at the options chain. This is a good way to learn about how this works. Go to the options chain this morning, go to the 1022 contracts, and look at the in-the-money calls. Look at how both sides of them, or even pretty much all of the contracts are going to have this. Look at how almost all of the contracts are going to be down probably, I would say probably 30, 40% today. Some of them will be down like 70, 80%. So they're going to be down bad. They're going to be down real bad. So take a look at those contracts this morning. You're going to notice that IV that just got crushed and the option contract numbers. Yeah, sorry, you're right. 36 numbers in roulette. My bad. So you know what I meant. But yeah, the option contracts are going to look pretty ugly this morning. All right, Disney. Let's go ahead and take a look at Diz. So Disney is something that I'm watching here as potential sympathy off potentially Netflix and maybe even off Roku when they report earnings. I think they report, it might be the same day as Roku. 11:10 for Diz. And then Thinkorswim doesn't seem to know for sure yet, but they say earnings on 11:4. So we'll see. So Disney, I'm watching this here. The reason, number one, is because it's on its nice down. It's sort of at its bottom of its trading channel, right? Disney's sort of back down at the bottom of this trading channel. It's been bouncing off this level multiple times. And, maybe it does it once again. Who knows? Maybe this thing bounces off this trading channel once again. If you like to trade in this channel, then maybe this is an opportunity. If Netflix maybe has some movement tomorrow or today, maybe Disney has some sympathy off of it. So I would be watching this move today. See what Disney does today if it moves off this trading channel and you start to get a push higher. It's very interesting, and maybe there is some sympathy off of a potential Netflix move. So I would keep an eye on that. I would definitely keep an eye on Disney today. So with that said, that's the technicals. That's the sort of channel that you're looking at. And then on Roku, also one that reacted slightly to earnings on Netflix yesterday. So if we go to the 1 minute chart, you'll be able to see it. You'll see that, okay, it got a little crazy in the after hours because of Netflix. Down a little bit in the after hours today, just about, it's basically flat actually. It's down, the bid in the ask is pretty wide. So it's about flat here in the after hours, Roku. And this is another one that is in that same type of business. So streaming, Roku, Disney, I want to keep an eye on both of those. So we'll see if Roku has any sympathy today. We're above the 50 SMA on the daily chart. That's a big level that we broke above. At this point, want to see us hold above that 50. Nice hold on the 20. Want to see us continue to hold that 50 here. That is right back near these previous levels, right around 335, 336. So that's some of the levels I'll be watching. And then, of course, the big one on Roku, if you guys are watching this with me, is 340. So let me go to the 4-hour chart here. So 340 was the big break that I was waiting for. And the reason I say that is because it's right here around these previous highs, right? So you have these previous highs right here that were around 340, nice psychological level. And what you guys will notice, if I go to the 15-minute chart, it is an absolutely gorgeous break and retest of 340 here on Roku. And the fact that Roku pulled back to 340 yesterday, found support off of it, and started to consolidate, that's bullish to me. I know it's not the most bullish close, but if Roku did not want to hold up, it would have went back below 340 yesterday. So the fact that Roku broke out, retested previous resistance, turned it into support, that is bullish in my opinion. So I'm going to continue to hold Roku, and I want to see if there's any sympathy move off Netflix. Facebook, 200 SMA bounce. I think a lot of you guys know that, and a very nice move higher off this level. Facebook has been, here's the thing about Facebook, guys, and I'll talk about it from experience, right? Facebook usually gets absolutely killed from just like ridiculous political and headline nonsense that comes out. I mean, it's always in the news. It's absolutely ridiculous how much Facebook is in the news. Almost every day you hear something about this congressperson, that congressperson doesn't trust Facebook. They were asking the face. I can't believe some of the questions they ask Zuckerberg and other people from Facebook, other executives on Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw that video where the guy was literally asking them if they would shut down Finsta. And if you guys are familiar with what Finsta is, a Finsta is like a page that you make on Instagram. It's just another page that you make where you just joke around. Girls use it, I think, mostly, but it's like a screw around page where you just post whatever you want, where you don't really care what's on it, right? I think a lot of people take their Instagram pages a little bit seriously, what they post, their image. I think a lot of people do that. A Finsta is just a one that you just throw whatever you want on it. And you have these congressmen that are asking them to shut down Finsta. So they have they have absolutely no idea what's going on. I mean, it's literally ridiculous that we have 80-year-old people that have no idea about these platforms. And I'm not defending Facebook. I just think it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy to hear some of the questions that they ask. They have literally no context of what these apps do. So what I just talked about makes it very difficult at times to be someone that's confident in trading Facebook or investing in Facebook because of how much it's been getting affected by that type of news. So recently it got crushed because of a lot of stuff going on, but usually, guys, this leads to opportunity. For the most part in the past, this always leads to opportunity on Facebook. So I think maybe this is your opportunity on Facebook as an opportunity back to the upside. Off this pullback, it has not moved back higher with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is definitely very strong outperformance versus Facebook. And if we continue to see a Nasdaq move, I think you start to see people start to warm up back to Facebook, guys. I think people start to warm up back into this name, and I think there is an opportunity here. So I would definitely be watching Facebook to the upside. So, yeah, I mean, not so you could have, your personal opinions about Facebook, but, the numbers, if you just look at numbers and their advertising strength and the money that they're able to pull in through advertising, there's nothing trash about Facebook. You may personally not like it, but, if you don't invest in a company because you have a personal vendetta against someone, then you're probably just being emotional. Facebook by no means is a trash company. They make an absolutely unheard of amount of money on advertising. Probably the number one advertising place on the internet. The whole Facebook pony show, Drake going down. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. I'm trying to see what you're trying to say here. Going to give some background for they sell off and now short cover places be awesome to go to daily chart. Are you saying like they sell it off on purpose? Yeah, guys, I didn't mean to start a whole thing about what Facebook does. Let's keep it on the stock market here. I mean, there's no reason to be sharing your emotions about what Facebook does in the background. It's not why we're here. So the reason we're here is to talk about the opportunity that you can make money on this Facebook sell-off. So if you'd rather focus on Facebook things that go on, like all this stuff they talk about on TV, then this is not the place for you. For me, I'm gonna make money on this pullback, and I'm gonna be the one that takes advantage of this. I really don't care what Facebook does. It's not gonna cloud my judgment. So please don't talk about what Facebook does. I really don't care. I don't think anyone else does either. No, this is not what the Discord chat looks like. YouTube has a lot of free people that come into the chat that are not really you're not really able to have manners in a free live chat, unfortunately. So yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to stay on track with the people that bring up things like that. So yeah, I think the overall overarching theme there is try not to let those things, those emotions get into your trading. Make sure to be focusing on the price action, because there's definitely opportunity there. Make sure to be an opportunistic person there. So Baba, 180, 1, 2, 3. So you have this very nice 180 hold on Baba. You have this very nice resistance, previous resistance here, turned into support, turned into resistance, and we were able to get back above that 180. So I'll note never to bring up Facebook again. Sorry guys, I apologize to anyone in the chat that I offended by bringing up Facebook. It seems like a very sensitive subject, so I will not bring that up again. Anyways, let's move on. So 180, very nice push above 180, a nice hold above 180 right here. So you can see gap up on the chart due to the Asian market. Very nice push above the Asian market, and a nice little hold here above 182. So guys, I would be watching the 180 hold right here, and I would be continuously watching this to the upside right here at 182. I think I think you have maybe some upside past 180, but this is definitely a tough resistance level in the past. So I'd look to see if there's any pullback back to Baba around that 180 level today. If you can pull back and hold 180 today, I think that's a very big opportunity. Yeah, I missed Baba too, Hans. I really did. I definitely started a very bad chat today, guys. So, I mean, hopefully we can focus in here. I really appreciate that. I very strongly apologize. Everyone seems to be off the rails here. But yeah, Baba, I missed that yesterday. I really wish I did get that. 180, that push yesterday was very, very strong. And we'll see what happens. But I think we keep an eye on it. It's very strong. Asian market was strong. And that is what I'm going to be watching today. Apple. Yeah, that's what happens as you start to grow the voice, or when you start to, this is sort of what we talk about, like why the Discord is paid. When you go somewhere with a bunch of people that it's free, where they have no personal connection or no personal investment into something, it can become ugly really fast. So you're gonna have to maybe start ignoring the live chat, to be quite honest, or turn it on to member only. So Apple, 1, 2, 3, 4, very nice previous resistance at 150, and that is where I would be watching That's where I'd be watching Apple. Back to 150, guys. I think Apple moves back to 150, and then it starts to find your resistance. So that is what I'd be looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, previous resistance at 150, and that is where I think Apple heads back to. Maybe over the next, it could honestly happen today. It looks like Apple's sort of flagging here on the 4-hour chart, on the hourly chart. You could get that push to 150 today. That is what I would be watching on Apple. 150. LVS. There's no coupon for Discord. There is no coupon for the Discord. LVS. So you have a nice LVS pullback. This is virus levels. So if we go back to the weekly chart, you guys can see 1, 2, very nice hold at these previous levels, 36. Yeah, numbers over opinion. So 1, 2, nice hold here at 36. And we're at virus levels here on LVS. It's very interesting to see a stock that's still sort of hitting where we were by when what came out. So I'm interested to see how these earnings come out. This is something. This is the type of play that I'd be a little bit more interested in rolling the dice on an earnings play. The only reason is because you are at. Did someone donate to the? Yeah, you did. Sorry, I missed that. Ultramis. Check mRNA 2-hour. I'll put mRNA I'll put mRNA on the chart. So I'm interested. This is something that I'd be interested in just because LVS is so sold off. It's almost down 45% here, back to these lows from back in March 2020. So I'd keep an eye on this today, guys. Big earnings report. Definitely watch. Quickly gonna go over PayPal, Square, and then we gotta get out of here. We're going quick. We're going long here. So real quick, PayPal 1, 2, 3 uptrend hold. You guys can see that, and it's the same exact thing for Square. Uptrend hold 1, 2, 3 uptrend hold on Square. Watch those two. Members, let's go ahead and take a look at some of your tickers here. CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, CLF. A little bit of a tough level here. Maybe see if it can hold these previous highs. You can see right here. When does he adjust you cons are going to wish? So nice little hold here at 21, and then a push through, break and retest of 21. That's what I'd be watching on CLF there. See if it can hold that 21, that break and retest level. UNH, yeah, LVS is tempting. LVS is tempting. So here is UNH. A little bit of a flag on the 4-hour. It looks like someone is bringing up. Yeah, I can sort of see that actually. You have a little bit of a flag here. You go back to the 4-hour. You can sort of see it here. Little 4-hour flag forming on LVS or on UNH. So see if it can hold maybe this low from yesterday around 422, 423. That's what I would be watching there. If it can hold some of these previous highs right in this area. You guys can see some of these previous highs, bounced right off of it. You can see right here, push higher, pull back, bounce off these previous highs. This could be a nice little flag move, yeah. I would keep an eye on the Dow. The Dow will be important for UNH. AT&T, guys, this is just something that I would leave alone personally. I don't know if you put your money in AT&T, guys. There's better places to put your money. Verizon looks much better than AT&T here. It's a better trade. It's a better dividend probably because on top of dividends, you're going to actually make a return on your money. So, guys, I would probably look away from AT&T. I know it's at like 3-year lows or whatever, but still, I like to stick around the stocks that are working, not the ones that are not working, and try to make them work. It's like trying to fix a psychotic relationship, right? Or an ugly relationship. You know, let the thing that work, trade the thing that works. I would probably look away from AT&T. That's just my personal opinion. So I could be wrong. Trade desk, nice push. Just be careful of some of the resistance. It's a pretty big move in the last few days on trade desk. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green days in a row on trade desk. And you're sort of coming into this resistance, right? Around this 81.5. So keep an eye on 81.5 here. You would want to see it get through and hold it as support. Looks like there's some resistance at this level. Ulta. Yeah, Ulta. Ulta did. I think they like cut their guidance or something, or gave weaker than expected guidance yesterday. But they got absolutely demolished yesterday, Ulta. So, you know, maybe there's a little sympathy move here. Maybe there's a little bounce back. That's definitely possible. Maybe off this trend line. I know they had, I think they made some kind of deal with Amazon as well. Long term. Yeah, they announced their financial targets. They had some type of partnership with Google. So we'll see, guys. I mean, maybe you try to bounce the pushback off of Ulta after this big nasty move, but you're going to want to see some confirmation here. Maybe these previous lows here. If we go ahead and zoom into the 4-hour, maybe right here where you're actually starting to find that bounce right at this 360 level. Maybe you start to see that 360 bounce on Ulta. Right here, the top left is a watermark, if you guys can see it or not. So yeah, 360 level on Ulta. See if that holds. Yeah, Novavax got crushed this morning, I know. Affirm. Let's go to the hourly chart. So Affirm, I don't quite like how Affirm has turned this previous support into resistance, guys. So you can see previous support at 156 into resistance. That's not the best look. So that's actually pretty ugly. So you can see here on Affirm, look at how Affirm turned previous support right here into resistance. That is not good. That is a bearish sign. So I would be careful of Affirm. If it cannot get back above 156, be careful here because it's turning previous support into resistance. That is a bearish sign. Finally, Snow Reno, welcome to the members. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you for that. Is my try to change your resolution on your side. I mean, it should be streaming in a high resolution, I hope. So Snow, guys, what I would do right now, if you are not in Snow, I would simply wait for this pullback. I would wait for that pullback. That is what I'd be waiting for. Wait for the pullback to 330. Look for the break and retest. Grab it on the 330 retest with a stop below. That is your trade right there on Snow. That is personally what I'm going to be waiting for. If we ever get back to 330, of course. At some time we will. So it's just going to be a matter of patience. All right, guys. I want to apologize once again for a little bit of the shit show there in the middle of the stream. Very distracting. I shouldn't have talked about Facebook the way I did. So it seems to be upsetting some people. So I take it back. I just want to focus on the charts. So we'll focus on trying to catch the Facebook bounce where it's possible. I think there could be an opportunity there. So I would definitely watch Facebook to the upside. What else? Oh, if you guys are interested in, I'm sure a lot of you guys know Matt Diamond. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Matt Diamond is. But me and Matt, we talk, we're friends. If you guys want to, if you guys know, Matt Diamond does Instagram lives. Oh yeah, mRNA. Oh, that's right. For the guy who, sorry guys, let me go mRNA real quick. That's my bad. mRNA. Thank you for the reminder. Very nice of you. All right, mRNA. 4 hour, I think you were talking about the 20 SMA. Yeah, you can see it has been holding the 20 SMA. So 4 hour, 20 SMA here. It is starting to hold that. I just don't like biotechs. That's the problem that I have. Biotechs are tough for me. So the furthest I could see mRNA going at this point would be up to 360. So 360 is around that level that I would say you start to look to be careful, because look at these previous levels. That will certainly act as resistance to the upside. So mRNA, maybe you get some move off of the Novavax debacle that went over there at Novavax. You guys know Novavax is down bad. Maybe there's a little move off on mRNA because of that. But just be careful. Yeah, watch the 20 SMA and then watch this 360. It's not the most bullish area. You're going to have to just watch this really intraday, in my opinion. So what else? Yeah, that's about it. 20 SMA, that's all I really could see here. I mean, maybe you watch some of these previous lows, previous highs. That's really all you could do here. But then definitely watch the 360. Watch that 360. Let me see if I can see anything else here. And these lows here. So yeah, so make sure to go on the shorter term time frames. Check out those previous lows, previous highs right here. Previous low, if you break that, no good. Previous high, if you break that, nice breakout, right? All right. So as I was saying, Instagram live with Matt Diamond. If you guys are interested, it's going to be on his Instagram, where he makes videos about scalping options. He's a little bit of a different style. He's very good at what he does. Happy to be in contact with him. It's good for just being, collaborative and working with him, talking to him, talking about plays, talking about opportunities. So if you guys want to come hang out, it's on Instagram, totally free. You can just, hop into his live, follow him there, or follow me at Options Insider, and we'll be there just, shooting the shit, talking about trading. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you did, can we get to 400 likes today? We'll see if we can get to 400. Thank you guys once again for being here. What else? I think that's it. Let's go ahead and have a good day. It's 9 o'clock. I'm here very, very long again. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you in the next live stream. Peace out.